In the frozen far north, the grizzly steps forward like a breathing mountain, silent and unstoppable. Each footfall is a statement. Without rushing, it reads the landscape through the scent of the wind, the traces on the ground, and the shifting rhythm of the seasons. In a land where energy is as precious as gold, the most enduring creature does not merely survive, it shapes the rules for everything around it. So what makes the grizzly the one that sets the law across this icy forest? The grizzly ranges from Alaska and Canada to the mountain forests of the United States, where harsh climates and shifting seasons shape every source of food. It stands as a symbol of natural strength, rising over 7 feet when upright, with powerful muscles that help it dig, climb slopes, and travel long distances without losing rhythm. Despite its steady appearance, this animal carries surprising speed, reaching nearly 35 miles per hour. That leaves many wondering, can a bear that seems calm in the quiet woods truly be harmless? In the wild, the answer always lies on the thin line between its curiosity and its instinct to survive. Between grass-covered valleys and broken, steep slopes, the grizzly becomes a formidable pursuer. Weighing nearly 1,200 pounds, yet moving at a pace comparable to a track athlete, it uses every small advantage in the terrain to close the gap on a deer, an animal known for quickness. The grizzly presses forward with cold persistence, not rushing, but tightening pressure with each stride. It waits for the exact moment the deer slips up, losing footing in tall grass, or hesitating at a fallen log, letting the landscape do the rest. In that decisive second, endurance and massive muscle allow the bear to surge in, take control fast, and end the chase before the forest can fall quiet again. In the cycle of the ecosystem, the scene is a reminder. Nature does not belong to the fastest, but to the one that reads the ground and patiently waits for the smallest mistake from its rival. In the northern forests, wolves are master coordinators. A pack of 6 to 10 individuals moves like a living network. Some close in, some block the path. Others keep distance to test reactions. With speed and strict teamwork, they can apply pressure even on animals larger than themselves. And indeed, there are moments when sheer numbers allow wolves to drive a grizzly away from a food source. They circle, make short rushes, and stretch the tension long enough to push the bear back one more step. But when the bear turns away, it is not always losing. In a world where every calorie is as precious as gold, retreating can be the wiser choice, saving energy for a better opportunity. Yet there are other times when the bear stops retreating. and that decision shifts the entire tone of the forest. Its thick shoulder hump rises, the front legs anchor like coiled springs, and its claws, nearly 4 inches long, make one sharp, concise warning sweep. Not prolonged, but unmistakably firm. Against that storm-like power, the wolf's formation naturally loosens. A pack may test with numbers, but when faced with an opponent that chooses to stand its ground, all it can do is widen the distance and wait for another chance. Nature does not crown the most aggressive, but the one that knows when to advance, when to pause, and when to step back to live fully for the next season. In the dense forests of Alaska, a moose is one of the toughest opponents. Standing over 6 feet at the shoulder and weighing more than 1,400 pounds, with legs like steel springs, it is almost a moving wall. Its broad antlers and powerful front leg strikes make a grizzly cautious every time it closes in. The grizzly understands the cost of a rushed move, so it targets weaknesses instead. With a young moose, the bear often pressures the calf towards the water's edge, where escape routes narrow, then patiently waits for the brief moment the mother loses focus to move in and gain control quickly. With a full-grown moose, the strategy shifts. The bear forces its rival down into the riverbed, using deeper water to wear down the advantage of those long legs. Each step for the moose grows heavier and slower, while the bear keeps its balance and steady pressure. But the moose does not only flee. At times it turns back, lowers its center of gravity, and drives a front leg strike as a clear warning, enough to make the bear pause and reassess. The standoff becomes a sequence of push and counter-push, where a single small mistake can change the outcome. In the north, endurance is not only about strength, but about choosing the right weakness and letting the land itself, the shoreline and the deep river, become a quiet ally. During mating season, the northern forests become tense. Adult male grizzlies begin marking territory through scent, long claw marks on tree trunks, and steady patrols along familiar routes. Each sign is a declaration. This area has an owner, and any intruder should think carefully before entering. When two males cross paths, a clash does not always break out immediately. They circle, take wide strides to display their size, and release low, resonant sounds as a warning. If one senses a disadvantage, it turns away and withdraws, avoiding unnecessary energy loss. But if both are determined, the encounter moves into a test of limits. It starts with silent intimidation, followed by short bursts of pressure. each shoulder push and heavy brace aimed at forcing the rival off a stronger position. Claws and teeth serve as stabilizing anchors, helping maintain balance and create forward pressure. The moment one loses rhythm and turns away, the confrontation ends. One keeps the territory, and the other preserves its strength for another season. During this time, the female becomes the center of pursuit. She chooses a mate based on strength, the ability to secure territory, and the persistence of the male. But she also carries her own responsibility, keeping her young safe from unfamiliar males that may pose a risk if they approach too closely. Territory is not just a place of shelter. It is the stage where every choice, advance, retreat, or stand firm, shapes the next generation of the species. Salmon season transforms northern streams into a living ribbon of energy. Thousands of salmon push upstream to spawn, and for the grizzly, this is a crucial window to build fat before the long winter ahead. It chooses strategic points, near waterfalls or narrow runs, where the fish are forced to surge upward to pass through. The bear stays fully focused, eyes locked on every shadow moving beneath the surface. When a salmon bursts from the current, it reacts in an instant. A forepaw hooks it cleanly, or a precise snatch meets the fish at the exact drop. Each successful catch brings in about 4,000 to 6,000 calories from a full-grown salmon, rich in omega-3 fats and easily absorbed protein. But not every attempt lands. Sometimes a fish slips past and vanishes into the flow. The bear only shifts back half a step, adjusts its position, and waits for the next wave, because behind that patience is a bigger goal: building reserves for a winter sleep that lasts for months. Here, strength is not in noise, but in knowing when to wait and when to strike with the current. As winter approaches, the grizzly's entire body enters a quiet yet remarkable preparation phase. It searches for a rocky den, a hollow tree, or a thick earthen shelter that blocks the wind, then lines the inside with dry moss and loose grass. A small, warm, isolated space becomes the key to conserving energy through the long months ahead. During hibernation, the bear's heart rate slows to about 8 to 12 beats per minute. Its body temperature drops slightly, but never plunges the way it does in many other species. Astonishingly, it does not eat, drink, or release waste. Every bit of energy comes from the fat layers built during salmon season and the earlier months of foraging. Its body recycles waste, preserves muscle, and keeps its bones from weakening. For a female, this is also the season of birth. Newborn cubs, weighing only about 1 pound, open their eyes in the warm darkness, relying on their mother's slow, steady breathing to survive. When spring returns, mother and cubs emerge with just enough energy, a testament to extraordinary adaptability in one of the harshest northern landscapes. No roar or chase is needed. The hippo still makes the entire river cautious. Each time it surfaces, the water seems to tremble with thousands of pounds of muscle. A single shove can reset the order. One step forward is enough to make every other creature keep its distance. In the wild, no one challenges the authority of this seemingly gentle animal. Behind that quiet exterior is a strength the natural world cannot help but respect. The Nile crocodile is a master of hiding in the water. It does not need long pursuits or loud display. It waits in silence with only eyes and nostrils above the surface. When an opening appears at the water's edge, a short burst and a clamp-like bite close the distance instantly. The size of this ambusher is impressive. Length can reach about 20 feet. Weight can exceed 1,600 pounds, and bite force is estimated around 3,700 psi. That power is supported by a rolling motion underwater, helping it hold position and make the other side lose balance in a split second. On one calm river stretch, a young hippo separated from the herd was trying to find the safe zone again. But under the surface, danger was waiting. The crocodile's swift strike ended that young hippo's chance to survive. The river returned to stillness, while the hippo mother faced the hollow space left behind. Upstream, another crocodile drifted into a zone it should not have entered, the waters of an adult hippo group. Large heads slowly rose, and the formation closed in towards the intruder. Heavy bumps and forceful bites pushed it to pivot and search for escape. Surrounded by sheer mass and firm intent, the crocodile chose to withdraw to protect itself. The river folded back into normal calm, but the lesson remained. Where hippos gather, no outsider dares to intrude. The hippopotamus is a herbivore, spending most of the day submerged to stay cool and rest. When night falls, it leaves the shore to graze, consuming hundreds of pounds of vegetation each night. This is the primary energy source that sustains a body weighing over 2 tons. However, observers have recorded a particular behavior. At times, the hippo will feed on floating animal remains, often from prey taken by crocodiles. This phenomenon is rare, but it carries a clear biological meaning. When minerals or protein are scarce, the hippo may make use of the remaining nutrients from those remains. This behavior does not come from a hunting instinct. It is a natural way to supplement nutrition when the environment is limited. Beneath the calm exterior of a plant eater the hippo still adapts with flexibility to the demanding rhythms of life in Africa. Lions hold the top position in Africa's predator chain. Power moves with intelligence and disciplined formation. As the only social cat, information and decisions travel quickly through the pride. An adult male weighing about 500 pounds can surge to nearly 50 miles per hour over short bursts. Their greatest advantage is still the seamless coordination among individuals. Every decision favors conserving energy and choosing the right moment. Hippos are rarely a priority target, not because lions are afraid, but because the risk calculation shows the return is not proportional. The pride only considers it when a young hippo strays from safe water or when prolonged hunger forces bolder choices. Even when trying their luck, lions always keep an exit. They probe from the edge of the dry grass and only close in if the terrain helps. At the first unfavorable sign, the formation breaks off quickly. Hippos rarely initiate conflict. When territory is crossed or a calf is at risk, the response is immediate. Acceleration, mass, and resolve help push rivals out of the water zone in just a few beats. Encounters between the two species are often brief but tense. Outcomes depend on water depth and on who reads the terrain better. Usually the reeds fold back and the riverbank returns to a quiet rhythm. The hippopotamus is a grazer with the build of an armored vehicle. Its body can weigh up to 4,000 pounds, yet it can burst to about 30 miles per hour over short stretches, enough to make a sandbank tremble. A pair of canines measuring roughly 20 inches works with a bite force around 1,800 psi, a figure rare among large mammals. Spending half the day in the water, it reads currents like a map, holding deep channels, river mouths, and sandbars as vital junctions. A stranger entering those waters is quickly overwhelmed. Without loud display, its power comes from the order it imposes, a silent rule the entire riverside understands. Hippos do not only hold deep water channels, they also rest in large mud wallows at the edge of the savanna. These mud fields help regulate body temperature, limit water loss, and act as transfer points between river and grassland. They are both heat shelters and natural borders that hippos treat as extensions of their territory. Sometimes predators push weaker prey into these mud pockets to block escape routes. The impala, a small antelope, is often the one cornered. But if a hippo is already lying in that mud pit, the entire encounter shifts instantly. For the hippo, any movement not permitted within the mud zone is a violation. It bursts forward, closes the distance, and drives away the outsider. The prey held in the mud is immediately controlled by the hippo before the predator can close in. The predator on the bank will not risk stepping into mud controlled by a hippo. In a moment, roles are reversed. The place that seemed like a trap for the prey becomes the ground where the hippo enforces an untouchable boundary. In the wild, a hippo's territorial boundary is not only a no-go zone for its own kind, it sometimes becomes a safe buffer for other species. Any creature that stirs the water draws an immediate response, crocodiles included. When an antelope or zebra is pulled into the river by a crocodile, the chance of survival is almost zero. But if the struggle happens within the area a hippo is holding, the outcome can shift. The reflex to defend territory drives the hippo to rush in and strike at the strongest movement. Many times, that forceful charge makes the crocodile release its hold and back away. The hippo does not set out to rescue the victim. Its self-defense simply creates an unexpected window of escape for others. In nature's hard order, the line between protector and beneficiary can be nothing more than the overlap of instinct and territory. Even a symbol of strength has vulnerable moments. A stray calf is easily brought down by lions. Older, weakened, or ill individuals, and those caught far from water, face higher risk. Across grassland and river's edge, lions and hyenas are the main predators that exploit those gaps. Even so, nature wastes nothing. When an individual falls, scavengers arrive. Vultures, hyenas, fish, and countless small aquatic creatures, each taking a share. Nutrients return to soil and water, feed grass and algae, and then cycle back to the herds that pass through in the rainy season. The story ends in renewal. The loss of a weaker individual opens room for a stronger population, helping balance numbers and food supply. In that steady rhythm, nothing is wasted, and the riverbank keeps moving to its quiet, enduring rules. In that frozen world, the grizzly moves like a reminder of nature's enduring strength. Every hunt, every encounter, every winter sleep marks another chapter in its remarkable journey of survival. If these wild stories spark your curiosity, stay with us for the next adventure. Hit like and subscribe to discover even more awe-inspiring moments from the natural world.